Tbilisi, the capital of the country, has a myriad of grand hotels scattered around the city.
Honorable Secretary General Rifai, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, Excellencies, it is a true honor to host this very important event here in a country which prides itself on having one of the ancient traditions and history in the world. Allow me to emphasize that the relationship between Georgia and the UNWTO has advanced dynamically in recent years. Georgia had the honor of hosting the first UNWTO Global Conference on Wine Tourism. This was truly an important and symbolic event, since Georgia is the country where winemaking traditions began over 8,000 years ago. Today we embark on another momentous endeavor by becoming the host of the third Euro-Asian Mountain Resort Conference. Georgia has once again demonstrated the importance our country attaches to the development of mountain destinations. I always say that I have two important jobs. One is a great honor to be a Prime Minister of this country, and the other is being a project manager for mountain and ski resort developments. It is significant to note that mountains make up more than 65% of our country's landscape, and the government is actively using the development of mountain destinations to advance opportunities in those areas. According to various studies, Georgian ski destinations have the potential to generate more than $300 million in revenue from visitors. And in this light, the government of Georgia has focused considerable financial resources on sustainable development of our mountain destinations, including implementation of our major infrastructure projects. We have inaugurated two new ski resorts, Goderzi and Tetnoldi, and created an investment-friendly environment by offering simplified procedures, low tax burden, and various incentives. Furthermore, the government has well utilized the public-private partnership potential, and the mountain destinations will attract additional investments from various investment companies and for projects for the involvement of private sector in the development process of the mountain and ski resorts. One of our key investors of our newly started flagship Kohta Mitarbi project in Bakuriani is presented today as a general sponsor of the conference. In addition, the government has launched an initiative to elaborate the master plans of various resorts. Gudauri Kobi Master Plan was created by the Ecozine Mountain Planners from Canada, and development plans for 4 more destinations, Bakuriani, Tusheti, Mestia, and Bakhmaro, are being prepared accordingly. During this process, we will continue to embrace the whole country and envision Georgia's mountain resorts as 4-season travel destinations by offering adventure, recreational, and sports activities throughout the year. It is important to note that our efforts have already been highly successful, and we are starting getting tangible dividends. The number of visitors to ski destinations in Georgia has increased by over 800% within the past 5 seasons. And we are delighted to witness the continuation of this trend with a 49% growth of visitors this season. Furthermore, a long-standing goal of Georgia is to host international winter sports competitions. To this end, Georgia strives to develop sustainable mountain ski resorts and implement all projects in accordance with international standards. Considering the government's consistent and multi-phased approach to the development of the tourism industry, Georgia has experienced a tremendous growth in the number of international arrivals. In 2016, the country surpassed a record mark of 6.3 million visits. With this, the international receipts from tourism have exceeded $2 billion US. One major recent development that will further facilitate people-to-people exchanges, business and tourism is the visa-free travel that the European Union just approved for Georgian citizens. Secretary Rifai, I would like to use this opportunity to express my most sincere appreciation and gratitude for your tireless efforts over the past 8 years to strengthen and develop the tourism industry across the globe. It is through UNWTO- s and your personal leadership that this sector has gained such momentum and undoubtedly reached new levels of success. Honorable Mr. Rifai, you are a true global citizen. Thank you very much. Furthermore, with the nomination of Ambassador Zurab Ololikashvili for the position of Secretary General of UNWTO, we Georgians are confident that the sector will continue to develop at a dynamic pace, and the UNWTO will advance further to support each nation, associate, and affiliate organization. I truly believe that if elected, Ambassador Ololikashvili will be a worthy successor to assume these responsibilities, and it is my hope that the international community will provide valuable support for this endeavor. I am confident that each participant of this remarkable conference is eager to share their knowledge, experience, and achievements. I am confident that the upcoming sessions and discussions will be both productive and pleasant for each individual delegate. In closing, I would like to express my appreciation to the whole of UNWTO for supporting us in hosting this very important event. I wish all of you a memorable stay in Georgia. Thank you very much.
Prime Minister, what a privilege and an honor it is to see you again. I still have wonderful memories of our several meetings in Georgia and last January in Madrid, where you left a very remarkable, lasting impression on everybody. We thank you so much for being with us. You're personally joining the launching of the International Year of Sustainable Tourism for Development, and for being a valuable partner for UNWTO has been incredibly, incredibly valuable to us. Your true statements, and we respect and admire all your steps and all the team that's surrounding you. Actually, your presence here today, Prime Minister, is a strong and clear message. We understand it, we respect it, we value it. No tourism can develop if the head of the political pyramid does not believe in it. We know that firsthand. You are a very remarkable leader in this regard. Thank you so much for being with us, Prime Minister. Minister Kakharia, I only met you yesterday, and I believe that we almost felt we knew each other for a long time. I'm looking forward for our very fruitful relationship. You have just started, but you've started up running. Thank you so much for all your good efforts. Thank you, Minister. Dear ministers, and I wish I could mention you one by one, many of you have become personal friends, but I was told that we have to break for lunch at 1 o'clock. So you have to forgive me, please. But I do want to distinguish and recognize a certain very special person here. We always call him George of Georgia. George, head of your tourism bureau, has become such a famous personality and very active person, and I want to thank you, George, for all your efforts in making this meeting a success. Thank you so much. You're truly George of Georgia. Thank you. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, we at the UNWTO are very proud to enjoy a very strong and long-lasting partnership with Georgia, as you could very clearly see. This partnership is based on a common vision of tourism as a transformative force for a better future for people and for planet. We have to share this vision together. But this vision has to be translated, and it translates into tourism becoming a real and effective engine for growth, sustainable growth, of course, and development in Georgia. There are three very important achievements that translate the success of your commitment, Prime Minister and fellow ministers, to your vision, despite many clear challenges that are clear and obvious to everybody. Let me very quickly try to state these three very important achievements. One, there is a consistent growth in international tourism arrivals and income generated as a result of this, which has reached a record high last year, 2016, and this year is promising to be an even better year. The first 3 months of 2017, if compared to the first 3 months of 2016, have shown double-digit growth in a very solid way. Georgia went from a little bit over 4 million international tourists in 2012 to, as you heard from the Prime Minister, 6.3 million in 2016. Two, your efforts in travel facilitation through increased connectivity, diversifying source market, as well as the impressive reforms that the Prime Minister referred to in the visa regimes are very well noted and very much appreciated. We cannot promote a country if people do not find it easy to come to the country, whether through entry formalities or through connectivity. And you have done a lot, Prime Minister. Three, and this is the crux of the matter, your emphasis on mountain tourism, particularly in off-peak season, is very timely and very important. And will help Georgia brand itself as an important mountain destination, which it is. Anybody who would have seen this video would have had a clear perception and a clear image of Georgia in his mind. It is indeed a mountain destination. What came to my mind last night when preparing these notes were the following sentences, and I hope I can share them with you. Come to Georgia. Come to the Caucasus. Touch the clouds. Take a deep breath. Uplift your spirit. Come closer to God and live on top. Any of these sentences is very synonymous with what Georgia can and should be like. A mountain destination, a very important mountain destination. My dear friends, mountains cover today 24% of the world land surface. They're a manifestation of the power, the beauty, the tranquility, and the freshness of Mother Nature. They're very valuable assets to us. Mountains are what represent to us the hope in life, the freshness, the beauty, the purity. They change climate, they change biodiversity, they change the landscape, and the culture in every continent is different because of our mountain terrain, and they inspire visitors everywhere. They can also, if well managed, bring tremendous opportunities for sustainable and inclusive growth and socio-economic development. And I'm very proud to have a Prime Minister introducing himself as a manager of a mountain resort. That is a great asset. Equally, my dear friends, 65% of Georgia's territories are mountains. Georgians like their mountains. I repeat, Georgians like their mountains, are proud, pure, and kind. It's a rare combination to have proud people be so kind and so hospitable. You have to be so proud of what you have, yet you have to be kind, modest, and humble in receiving your visitors, and that's what Georgians are. Georgians can and should brand themselves and be promoted as a country of deep culture and high peaks. Deep culture that digs into history, and high peaks that reach out to the sky. This is the real strength of Georgia. And I hope that this conference would highlight these very important strengths. My dear friends, Charles Dickens once said, "We live the worst of times, we live the best of times." Times of natural disasters, health pandemics, times of economic crisis, times of terror threats and wars, times of increased assaults on human rights, times of persistent inequalities, times of menace and climate change. Just listen to the news every morning and you would think that the world is falling apart. But also, despite of these complexes and interlinked challenges, despite the acts against the freedom of movement and travel, we live the best of times, without doubt. We're more connected, more informed, more involved. We know more about each other. We care more about each other. As a global community, we are indeed living the better world from the world we came from. You have to just stop and think a little bit of how lucky, how fortunate this generation is. And it is this new world, in this new world, the transformative force of travel and tourism is a cornerstone. We believe that we can contribute, and we are contributing to a better world, a world of optimism, a world of hope. Because after all, travel is the industry of hope and optimism. It puts smiles on our faces, and it puts smiles on the faces that you visit, visitors and hosts. It is a very, very valuable cornerstone in today's world in spreading the feeling that we all need of community, global community. Last year alone, there was 1,235 international tourists that crossed borders in one single year. That, my friends, is 1 out of 6 of the people of the world making an international trip every year. This is no more an elitist activity of a British or a German aristocrat that flies to places like India or China, comes back and writes a book about exotic places. It's people moving. It is truly a travel revolution. We're absolutely confident that 40, 50, 60 years from now, the future generations would look back at this time and say, that was the age of travel. That was the age where people crossed all borders and all barriers to enjoy this world and to make this world a better place. Travel opened minds, open eyes, and open hearts. We definitely become better people when we travel. My dear friends, still travel and tourism faces many challenges. We at UNWTO have identified 3 major challenges. This is not the time to talk about them, but we have to keep them in mind. We have the challenge of safety and security. We need to promote safe, secure, and seamless friendly travel. We cannot just keep it safe and secure without facilitating travel, and we can do that. We're also faced with the challenge of digital technology that's changing the rules of the games. And most importantly, we're faced with the challenge of sustainability. My dear friends, in 2015, the United Nations General Assembly accomplished 3 very important milestones 2 years ago. 1, we approved the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, a roadmap that would take us to 2030. 193 countries unanimously accepted these goals. 3 out of the 17 goals, Goal 8, Goal 12, and Goal 14, mentions tourism on top of the list. This is a very important agenda, and we need to all keep it in mind and align our agendas with that international agenda. It is the international consensus. 2, in the end of 2016, the international community signs the Paris Agreement on climate change. That's an absolutely important and crucial step in our endeavor to build a better world. But 3, it decided that 2017, the year that we are living in today, should be named as the International Year for Sustainable Tourism for Development and Peace. It is a very special year for us, therefore, that we're meeting here in Georgia, and the unique opportunity for all of us to come together to promote the contributions of this industry to a better future for people and planet. It is not anymore what we can do for this industry, it's what this industry can do for the rest of the world to make it a better world. Georgia understood this very well, and at the highest political level, as you can see. It understood how tourism is a force for positive change and commitment to turn convictions into realities. Through many examples I see from leaders like yourselves that I have come to know, and I value their friendship in this room here. My dear friends, one final thought, as the Prime Minister touched on the issue of the upcoming selection of the new Secretary General. As this may be my last official visit to your beautiful country, I will continue to come again in a personal capacity, I promise you, Prime Minister. We travel to places that we respect, my dear friends. We don't travel to places that we don't feel good about. We travel to places that we respect the society, respect the culture, respect and appreciate the kindness of the people, because in doing so, we ourselves gain self-respect. It's absolutely crucial and important. This is why people will continue to visit Georgia, because there is respect, Prime Minister. Because Georgia, my friends, the best thing in Georgia, my friends, are the Georgians themselves. This is what makes a big difference. Every country in the world can say they have beautiful mountains, beautiful beaches, beautiful rivers, but no country can claim to have the people of another country. You have very special people. You ought to be proud of yourselves. That is why the people will continue to visit Georgia and continue to flourish and grow this industry. Because, my dear friends, and this is where I'd like to always conclude with the final thought, whatever we do in life, whatever our business is in life, each and every one of us, our core business in life must always be to make this world a better place. Yet, this will only happen when we travel respecting nature, respecting culture, respecting the host community. This is why the motto of the International Year of Sustainable Tourism 2017 is travel, enjoy, respect. And I would like you to share this 1-minute video that we prepared on that occasion. Travel, enjoy, respect. Respect the people, respect Georgia. God bless you. You're a wonderful country. Thank you very much.